Sir, you're being charged with felony driving under the influence where death results. And this charge carries a mandatory fine of not less than $10,100 nor more than $25,100, and mandatory imprisonment, not less than 1 year nor more than 25 years. You're also being charged with felony driving under the influence where great bodily injury results. And this charge carries a mandatory fine of not less than $5,100 nor more than $10,100, and mandatory imprisonment for not less than 30 days nor more than 15 years. Both of these go to General Sessions Court, okay? And I know you've never been in trouble before, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Mr. Fowler, on these two charges, you have a right to ask for a jury trial or you can plead guilty. You also have a right to an attorney. You need to get an attorney. That's the first thing you need to do. You need representation. If you can't afford an attorney, you can get a public defender. Are you in school? Are you working now, or what?
I'm in Tri-County.
Okay. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. You would qualify for a public defender if you want to get a public defender. I don't know if your parents are going to hire an attorney, but you would qualify for a public defender. If you want to get a public defender, what you'll need to do is go to the Anderson County Courthouse. That's the main courthouse, downtown Anderson, 100 South Main Street. And you'll need to go into the clerk's office. The clerk of court is on the first floor of the courthouse. And you just need to tell them you need a public defender. You have to fill out a form, and you have to pay $40. Once you do that, you can get an appointment with a public defender. Or your parents may want to hire a private attorney, either one. But you do need an attorney. These are very serious charges, and you need representation. Okay. Now you also have a right to a preliminary hearing, and I'm going to tell you what a preliminary hearing is. You have 10 days to request a preliminary hearing. You're going to get a form for that tonight with your paperwork. And it's a hearing in front of a magistrate. The only person who testifies in it is the officer who made these cases against you. And the officer has to show probable cause for your arrest. Your attorney will be able to question the officer, cross-examine him to find out what kind of evidence he has against you. If the officer cannot show probable cause, your case or cases could be dismissed at this hearing. A preliminary hearing does not hurt you in any way. If you would like one, all you do is you sign your name to that form that you're going to get tonight. You can either sign it at the jail, give it to an officer down there, they'll turn it in for you, or you can mail it in. There's an address on the front. Just make sure you get it in within 10 days, okay? And then your first appearance court date for these charges will be January 8th of 2021, the new year. On January 8th at 9 a.m., you will need to go to the Anderson County Courthouse. You will need to check in with the solicitor's office. The solicitor is our prosecutor. And you will need to check in with them. All they do on that court date is they'll verify your address, and they're going to ask you who your attorney is. Make sure you go on that court date. After that court date, they'll send you a card in the mail telling you when you have to come back and check in again. You're going to have to check in with the solicitor until these cases are called to trial or disposed of. If you don't, they will issue a bench warrant. If they issue a bench warrant, you'll be put back in jail and you will not be able to get out. You will sit in jail until trial, which could be a very long time. So you don't want that to happen. But make sure you get an attorney. If something does happen, your attorney can help you with that. Okay? That's the first thing you need to do. And the victims in this case, y'all were friends. Is that right? Okay. Mr. Fowler, I'm going to set your bond on these charges at a $30,000 surety bond, which means you'll have to go through a bail bondsman or put up property to make your bond. I know your family has talked to a bondsman. I don't know if you're going to get out tonight. I'll let you know. Okay. Do you have any questions about anything?
No, ma'am.
Okay. You're going to have to sign for your paperwork. The officer's going to tell you when to sign and initial. And then you're going to get a copy of everything you sign. It's just basically what I went over, and you'll get a copy of everything you sign. Okay?
Okay. Yes, ma'am.
Do y'all have any questions?
No, I don't think so. They're just devastated.
I know. I know.
We got a few of them, okay?
We're praying for all the families.
He's really a great kid.
I know.
He's motivated.
Gina, you gonna talk to him, or you gonna do the bond, or do you know? Okay. All right. Mr. Fowler, you're gonna, the bondsman is going to do your bond tonight, so you will be getting released this evening. It'll be several hours before you're released. You will be able to use a phone to call your parents to pick you up. Okay?
Okay.
All right. Yes, sir.
When will the fine be imposed?
That will be up to the solicitor. It'll be, well, actually, he needs to get an attorney, and then they need to decide whether he's going to ask for a trial on these charges or plead guilty. So it will be depending on what he wants to do with these charges, what's going to happen. So you need to get him an attorney first.
We got a form we want.
Okay, good. And if he wants a trial, the solicitor, sets the trial list. So, and right now we're not doing any trials because of the COVID. So, but they are having some court. So it'll just depend. So just let his attorney handle all that.
His attorney will know when he's supposed to go back and check in with the
Yes, and he's going to get a card in the mail. The solicitor will send him a card to the address telling him when he has to check in. So, but he needs that.
Make sure we don't miss any of that.
No, you definitely don't want that, because you cannot get out. If they issue a bench warrant, he'll be put back in there, and a bondsman can't get him out. Okay, so you definitely don't want that. But do what the attorney tells you to do. Okay. Y'all have any other questions or anything? And he'll be able to use a phone from the jail to call. I would not go down there to sit, because like I said, it may be several hours. I've got other people I've got to see before we take the folders down. And once we take the folders to the jail, they have up to 4 hours to release. Okay. So it just depends on how busy they are. And we have been busy today, so you just don't ever know. But he will be able to use a phone to call. I guess he has your number, knows your number. Okay. Just wanted to make sure I'd write it down. Okay.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay.